Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I don't think I put you guys on a good spot. There we go. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my routine of what I do when I go to bathe my dogs. Now, I'm going to say my dogs have not been bathed in a while. I should have bathed them like a few weeks ago because I try to do it like once a month-ish for them, but it's been a while. It's been a while. They're not like horribly smelling where you're like, oh, but they do smell like dog, not like good, you know? I am wearing my pajamas still. Like, as you can see from my video putting this together, I was wearing pajamas and I'm still wearing them, but it's because when I bathe my dogs, I always get soaking wet, and I'm not gonna get dressed, bathe the dogs and get soaking wet, and then get dressed again, and then put pajamas on. So I'm just gonna leave my pajamas on from last night until all the dogs are bathed. And yeah, let's get into the first thing I always start with. So the first thing I start with is washing all of the dogs' beds. And then I'll also, after all the dogs' beds are done being washed, I'm gonna wash my bedding. So yeah, let me get all the dogs' beds into the washers and deconstruct them. So I'll bring you along. I'm also clearly going to wash my bedding, so I don't care about putting the dog beds on my bed. It's alright, you know? So I use regular soap to wash their stuff, and then I put bleach in there. I think I already did it before this step, but I want to make sure everything's nice and sanitized. I remember now I didn't have bleach, so I used vinegar instead, but I prefer bleach to sanitize. Okay, so as I was out there, I realized I forgot a dog bed. So there's two loads, of course, so I will be putting this one in the other load. I like to flip these inside out because hair and stuff gets stuck in the corners, and like just random stuff gets stuck in here. So I just do that, you know. Alright, so the next thing I do is taking out anything they have in their cage now. Echo's been collecting my nephew's toys, so I need to take those out of my cage, or their cage, out of Echo's cage. But yeah, and then next I need to clean the cages too, so let me do all those. So right now I'm just gonna sweep everything to the front. As you can see, Stella's gets really dirty. She likes to roll around in the dirt, so her cage gets really dirty really fast. She actually gets a lot of baths, but I don't always wash her bedding. And now I'm just washing the pans from their cage. I'm gonna give everything a really nice scrub. I don't do this every single time. I try to do it every few times just because it is a lot to do this and then to wait for it to dry and blah blah blah. And you know, I'm washing 3 dogs. Sometimes 4 too. Sometimes I add my brother's dog into the mix. So sometimes I skip this step. I just do a little sweep, and sometimes I'll just put a Swiffer mop head on mine or whatever and clean it that way. This is also when I clean my room, so I mop and do all that. That's hair for the last 3 days. Echo has been shedding like crazy because it's spring. Same with Stella too, has been shedding pretty decently, and they track in so much dirt from our dirt backyard, like so much. So I realized that I was not recording after a little bit. I don't know what really, like, I stopped recording and I swear I started it again, and I don't really know what happened. I must have forgot, I guess, or I didn't click. I swear I pressed the screen, so the only thing I can think of is I didn't click the right spot, or I don't know. So, I'll see what ended up happening. Maybe it was like a 3-second recording because I held it or something. I don't know. But yeah, I finished sweeping, and I am going to clean up these boxes later. I just did kind of a basic sweep. I want to get into a more in-depth sweep because I need to do stuff with these boxes in front of my TV. They're just like stuff that like I had laying around that I just threw in a box because it's easier for me with my ADD if I throw everything in a box and I sit down with the box and go through it. So I'm gonna go through that stuff later, but I want to get the dogs started bathing soon. I want to try to see if the washer will finish, which it might be. I think it's been like an hour at least, so I'll check on it in a minute. But I want to get the washer finished and have some stuff going through the dryer and then the next batch going through the washer before I bathe the dogs. They're outside right now, but it's not too hot of a day today. And I have to bring them in at 2 because after 2, like by 2:30, the sun is fully covering the back porch and there's no shade in the backyard really. So I have to bring them in by 2:30 or by 2, so then at 2:30 when that happens they're not outside. I have dishes to wash for them, but the next thing is I'm just gonna put their the bottoms of their cage back where they go, and I'll go check on the laundry, and then I think I'm gonna go through at least a couple of these boxes here of stuff, and yeah, I'll come back when I go to bathe the dogs, I guess. Alright guys, so I'm gonna take apart the dog's collars. I wanted to play a little bit of video games because I never allow myself to do this. And then I want to show you. I got deconstruct the collars. I'm gonna put you guys here. So I'm gonna take off all their FI collars here, and I'm gonna fully take them apart. So they have these metal, no. You do this, yeah, and then you could do, you gotta do this. And that's how you take it apart. And I just want to take all the straps off of these. Like this. And I'm gonna charge this. This water gets so filthy. Like, I don't think the dog's collars are that dirty, but they're so dirty, guys. Like here, I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit, because I like to have it soaked to try to loosen up all that dirt and grime and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna let those sit in the bucket. I'm gonna play for like an hour, and then I'm gonna get off, and the dogs are gonna take a bath. I haven't put their trays, they're still in the shower here. I'm letting them dry really good. Usually I put them in when they're like still a little wet, but I have the time to let them dry. Echo's laying on all the pile of dog beds I have here. So yeah, that's just the plan. So I guess I'm gonna be staying up late tonight working on bathing the dogs, and my back is gonna be killing me tomorrow. Guys, don't mind the sound of the washer, but these are the dryer sheets I use. I use these on my clothes. They don't like totally, get rid of the pet hair, but it does help the pet hair to fall off a little easier. Okay, so the washer, after I did the last batch, had this self-clean cycle on, so it needed to be cleaned, so I can't wash my bedding yet. I had to wash the washer machine, which that thing is honestly, like, I swear every single day after you wash a couple batches, it's like, oh, self-clean, I'm dirty. It's really annoying. Not really every single day, but it's very often that goes off. But anyways, I have to let that go off, and it's like a 2-hour thing. And I don't have any extra pillowcases, but I have an extra fitted sheet and comforter. So, Echo's sleepy. Oh, I just woke her up. I'm sorry. So I need to do the pillowcases, and I'll do my fitted sheet, because I always do my pillowcase and fitted sheet together. My comforter goes by itself. But yeah, that's the next step, is kind of waiting for that self-clean, and then I want to throw my bedding in, and washing the dogs. Even though some of their bedding is done, I am not going to put it in their cage, because after I give them a bath, I have them lay in their cage for a little bit to dry off after I towel dry them, and I don't want their bedding to get wet during that process, so I always just lay them in their cage for like a little bit. It's just like at most half an hour they're laying in their cage. So I would like, after I bathe them, to have a new set of a fitted sheet at least on my bed. And then I set them in their cage. They kind of just air dry a little bit, and then they come out when they're just like a little bit wet. But when they're like freshly out of the shower wet, I don't want them on my bed, getting my bed all wet. Look, it's raining. Oh, you can see my phone case. How cute. It's raining out. I was like, I hope it rains one last time, at least like a good rain, and it's been raining a decent amount for the last like 10 minutes. Like, look at the blowing pretty hard. Yeah, it sucks is now, my headphones are like falling apart. I need to find my good ones. But the thing that sucks is that I'm giving dogs a bath, and it's gonna be muddy outside. because my backyard, as you can see, is only dirt. That's why so much dirt comes into my room, is because the dogs bring in so much dirt. Stella rolls around in dirt. That's how her cage ends up being the dirtiest. But we're gonna go throw my bedding into the washer because it is time now. So I did Echo first today, and I hate doing her first because she's the hardest one to wash because she takes so long to get like fully wet, and then she's just like takes forever, and then you soap her up, it takes forever, and then I usually do her last because at least like I'm not thinking about the other dogs, and of course my shirt's gonna pick up and stuff because that's just how it is. I lead the dogs into the shower. They're good with staying in the shower when um sorry, my brain. Like they're hard to get into the shower, but if I were to open the door, they're not gonna like run out. It's just the thought of going in. I need to go back and training them because since we've moved here, the only time they're ever in the shower or bathtub is when we're going to get a bath, and I need to train them that it's okay to go in the shower again. Stella will sometimes hop in, but not all the time. Dude, Echo takes so long. And then yeah, drying. Echo loves when I dry her head so much. Like she just leans into it. It's one of her favorite things. My Velocity dryer is outside and I need to clean it. So yeah, and now I'm clearly doing the water. Look how gross that is. Doing the collars. I try to like scrub them, especially this collar for Stella because this one gets so dirty. So I try to scrub some of them, and then some of them I kind of just half-heartedly scrub. Um, it just depends on which dog it belongs to. Like this one's Echo's. Um, that one I think is a piece of Maui's. I don't know. But yeah, I need to scrub it, and yeah. This is giving my back a break because Echo killed my back washing her. And actually, funny story is I have washed him again since recording this video. Not really funny, but I just washed him the other day, and it just every single time I do it, it's so hard. I usually let their collars air dry, but today I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it in the dryer, but it was so loud with them clanking in there, and I was like, nope, can't do it, can't do it, it's too loud. I kept them in there for as long as I could. I put them in a pillowcase actually, and I couldn't do it anymore, so I ended up taking them out before they were fully dry because it was just like too loud. Now I had to pick up Maui, and I led Stella in here with a slip lead. Um, Again, they're really good. I usually try to buy in bulk, buy soap concentrate. That's the best thing to do and the cheapest thing to do. But I try to use up all of it before we move, so all I had was that Johnsonville calming shampoo. I'm doing the dog's anal gland. Stella, Maui, and Sandy are the only ones. Echo doesn't need it, and then the rest of the dogs need it. Maui's was really thick today. It was disgusting. And Stella's is always like really loose, but she scoots her butt on the carpet, and I have to do it. I'm gonna leave that in. It's gross. It's something I hate doing, but it's gotta be done. And after I do it, I'm like I fully sanitize my shower because it's so gross. No, no. But it has to be done, and I don't want to have to take him to the groomers like every like once a month at least to do it. Like I'll just do it. I learned how to do it. I was taught. I know there's two ways. I'm not doing the second way. It's gross. Um and now it's towel drying. Of course, Echoes got on the floor so I didn't slip and fall. Guys, that's so exhausting. I forget how exhausting it is till I do it, and I'm like, ugh. Like, this is why I don't really bathe the dogs that much, is because if I'm gonna bathe one, I'd rather bathe them all because they all cuddle and stuff like that. I don't want to have one clean and then they're cuddling and become dirty again. But it's like a whole day thing. But I'm gonna probably go check on the washer because it should be done. Alright, so I pulled out my bed, clearly, and I'm sleeping underneath it because a lot of dirt accumulates because no one walks under here all day. So this is where a lot of the dirt goes, and the cardboard is because Echo, like my nephew will sleep over, and I have him against me and Echo, like Echo's cage and me, and Echo's in her cage because I don't let the dogs out when he sleeps when he sleeps over. And he sleeps in my bed, but he likes to stick his fingers in there, so I put the cardboard, and I have a mattress topper because the mattress I have is as hard as a brick. So I have that mattress topper, which slides all the time, and I hate it. I need to get like a good mattress. And now I'm just putting my bed in the right spot. You're about to see me crash out in a minute over this stupid freaking Costco bed. This one not. I got this one, I think at Chewy, if I remember correctly. And I think this one on Chewy also. Yeah, I got both these on Chewy. No, I think I got them both at Walmart, actually. This one is a Costco bed. I hate it beyond belief. I'm pretty sure the next time I'm washing all the dogs' beds, I am throwing that out. I'm not gonna deal with this ever again. I hate it's so cute, but I don't think the cuteness is worth the amount of suffering I have to do to put it back together. Like, this is sped up. This took me like 10 minutes to put it back together. And then, yeah, I needed to calm myself down because I was upset. And now it's just putting the dog bed. I already put the carpet in Maui's cage, and then I have these 2 dog beds. I ended up stacking them on top of each other to give Maui as much comfort as she wanted. It just depends on if I'm gonna do that, but she doesn't really stay in her cage ever, so it's just pretty much for show. I thought about taking it apart, but when I need to put her in her cage, I don't want it to get it out. And then Stella's is done. She always gets a pillow.
Also, one more thing I want to add, which I'm going to add this before the outro, I'm going to move it, is something I still have to do is washing their FI collars. Like, I just sanitize them. Well, I already washed the collar bands, but just washing the actual part, this is FI, the tracking part, and then putting them back together and then putting them back on the dogs. But yeah, now to the outro. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it for that video. I'm not gonna record anything, or this video, and not that video. I'm not recording this again. So, things I'm gonna do off camera is, of course, I'm waiting for my pillowcases to be done, and getting a fitted sheet. But Echo jumped on my bed, so now there's like a little wet spot on the foot of my bed, so I have to wait till that dries, before I can do anything with that. And then, of course, I need to trim their nails, and I'm going to put coconut oil on the feet. As you can see from back behind me is coconut oil. I'm going to use the angel eyes on Maui and Stella. What's the other thing? Oh, the health check with the stethoscope. But yeah. I want to say that I have to do this on the weekend. I can't do it during the weekday because I live in Arizona now, and where I live, there's only a certain time there's like a time where you can't use your washer or dryer or your dishwasher, anything that takes a lot of power and stuff. So, where am I at? Sorry. So I have to do it on the weekend because the weekends you can do all that stuff 24 hours for those 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. So I have to do it on the weekend, but it's hard because my mom and my brother, we all live together, we rent this house equally. I'm so sorry, guys, my brain. They hold their stuff off for the weekend. My mom was actually gonna do stuff, and I asked them, like, are you guys gonna do anything? I usually do this on Saturday, or I try to do this on Saturday, because they do hold off for Sunday to wash their clothes and stuff, but I was busy Saturday, so I didn't have an all-day thing to do this. So I did it today, Sunday. I like to do it on Saturday for a couple reasons. That reason of they usually wait until Sunday to do all their stuff. And also, it kills my back. And I like to, like, start my work week without being in pain, but this week I will start being in pain, because, you know, I'm chasing around toddlers, so I don't want to be in pain. I also, when I lived in Michigan, when I was a CNA, I didn't want to be in pain at work, too, so I did that also on the weekends. For that reason, I didn't have, like, a time where I could, you know, the dog's trekking so much dirt with the dirt backyard. I have a Velocity dryer outside, and I try to, almost every single time they come in, I try to blow dry them with it, and it still tracks in so much dirt. I can't get all of it, so the bath helps, but, like, that sweeping, I haven't swept for 4 days. That's 4 days worth of sweeping that I missed, and all that hair and dirt were there. Except for I don't sweep under my bed all the time. I really only do that when I change my sheets, which is weekly. I change my sheets, and then monthly I wash the dogs and wash their bedding. Unless I need to wash their bedding for something like they had an accident. I try to keep 2 beds out of the cage, and then they have multiple spots to lay. Maui can't lay in her cage because it's on top of Stella's cage. I have to pick her up and put her in it. Well, she could jump in if she wanted to, but she'd rather lay in bed with me, not in her cage. Because the cage is actually lower than what my bed is at, so she could definitely do it. But, so they have Stella's cage, Echo's cage, and then they have underneath my table, which is Stella's favorite spot. She's actually not laying in it right now, but underneath my table is Stella's favorite spot, because when I'm sewing, she lays there next to me, and she likes, bolsters on the bed, and she likes to round because she just curls up into it. And then this bed over here is for Echo, because Echo likes to lay under my bed a lot, so when she's hot, but sometimes she doesn't want to lay on my bed with me during the night, and she wants to be near me still, and I give her an option to lay near me that's not on the hard surface. But her cage is also right here, so she does opt for either her cage or under the bed mostly, but I try to, you know, mix match. Sometimes she wants to keep an eye on me, so she sleeps in that bed. It's very rare, but I give her the option to. I think that's it. I think I said everything I need to say, and I'm probably repeating because I still have to do the voiceover. I'm not sure what I'm going to say in the voiceover. I did have ideas, but I did not tell myself what my ideas were, and I did not write them down, so hopefully I remember when I rewatch the voiceover parts. We'll see. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, could you like it? You can dislike it if you didn't like it either. You know, you can do whatever. It would be cool if you commented and maybe subscribed. Maybe. Please. Alright. That's it for this video, guys. Bye.